Thanks, Rinky. Thanks, Burgers. Now, that was a fascinating conversation. Now, out here at the Enterprise Innovation Summit 2021, we have lots of great giveaways. You could visit the Yotta booth and answer a few questions on Yotta solutions, and you stand a chance to win an Amazon Echo, and 5 winners stand a chance to win Amazon vouchers. And online, you can tweet with the hashtag EIS2021. That's the hashtag, and you could win prizes on the hour. So let us know what you're thinking as we head to the next technology session titled The Boardroom Need Not Pay More for Immunity from Cyber Attacks. Rohan Parak, the Director of Product Management at Virsec Systems, and Shashi Shekhar Panda, the Vice President and Head of Products and Services at Yotta Infrastructure, are in conversation with Mukbil Amar, the Executive Editor here at Greyhead Media. Over to you.
Hello and welcome to this technology session at the Enterprise Innovation Summit 2021. I welcome all of you to this very exclusive discussion organized by Dynamic CIO in association with Virsec and Yotta Infrastructure. My name is Mukul Amma. I'm the Executive Editor at dynamiccio.com and Greyhead Media. First of all, I wish and hope that all of you are safe and secure. These are indeed and very uncertain times. Now, coming to the topic for today's discussion, it is focused on how important it is to generate immunity from cyber attacks in an efficient manner. Now, before we begin this conversation, I would like to spend some time to set the tone for the conversation today. Friends, we would all appreciate the fact that in today's world, where cyber threats are ever evolving, hackers and attacks are getting more and more sophisticated and advanced. So the question is, does cybersecurity need to be revisited with a renewed approach? Just to provide some context, credible data shows a 435% increase in ransomware attacks. There is one victim falling prey to ransomware every 10 seconds. With such a magnitude of threats and attacks on various organizations, cybersecurity is taking center stage today. In boardrooms today, CISOs need to move away from a probabilistic approach to a deterministic solution to give the boardroom more confidence and secure the ground jewels of the business, the server workloads. And for that, we really need the boardroom to pay. Do we really need the boardroom to pay more for security? Let's hear it out from our panel of experts today who have already been introduced. So, ladies and gentlemen, without much ado, please welcome Rohan and Shashi, and let's start right away. Now, beginning with Rohan. So, Rohan, we see that a CISO or very senior cybersecurity professionals generally adopt a multi-layered security approach, which includes elements such as firewall, endpoint protection, EDR. So, why does one really need runtime protection, and what difference does it make?
Thanks, Bill. Pleasure to be here. And no doubt the defense in depth strategy is key, right? But the challenge is the kind of controls that are put in place today are really insufficient for the attacks that are being seen today, right? But perimeter defense is only does the basic stuff, and everything else seems to be defending against yesterday's attacks. Now, when you say yesterday's attack, essentially everything is focused on an approach which requires prior knowledge of the tactics, techniques, and the procedures that the attackers use, relying on signatures, threat intelligence feeds, and so on. At the same time, the attackers now are becoming, of course, much more smarter. They are always a step ahead, and they are devising newer ways and techniques to bypass the current controls. Right? That's where there is a blind spot that they are always able to exploit, and you still hear a lot of things in the news. And this easily goes on and outspace the detection, response, and containment mechanism that we have that is being used by majority of these technologies today. So the idea is that the current defense in depth strategy only covers the pre and post scenarios, right? Wherein if you look at what we are doing on the perimeters, is primarily technologies like firewalls, as you mentioned, on the perimeter side, or technologies on the endpoint side, which are more post facto based detection mechanism. Runtime is really a blind spot. Runtime is essentially completely black box rather, to these technologies. And that's where the visibility is important. And to complement the runtime visibility, it's also important that we bring in application awareness, because only then we are able to go on and detect attacks much more accurately. And this is the reason why even though defensive in depth continues to make sense, but there is a different approach that you need to take to also include runtime in that defensive depth strategy.
Absolutely, wonderfully, explained. Now, coming to my next question, as I could understand from your own explanation, so we see that runtime protection has been around for a while. So, would you like to tell us how is Versec's runtime protection different? And it would also be great if you could, provide some examples and references from the ground, such as experiences of your customers, how they benefited, what were the challenges, etc.
So in the last few years, runtime, the meaning of runtime has been either associated with runtime application security solutions or runtime container security solutions of late. And that too in a very kind of disparate ways. And in addition, this too was always focused on primarily assessment and to some extent detection, but never ever the focus was really on the protection. And that's what Versec is trying to do, right? With runtime protection, what the idea that we are bringing into the table is bringing application awareness, which is where Versec maps the workloads, the applications that are running on those workloads, and maps the right intention of those applications is essentially a part of the design of those applications, and instantly identify and stop any deviation, which is essentially nothing but a potentially malicious attempt that is happening in that environment. There is a unique combination that we are bringing in, a unique combination of course, runtime security that we spoke about, which gives altogether a different level of visibility down to the level of memory space of those applications, those workloads that are running. At the same time, it also brings in a probabilistic approach towards security. Now, probabilistic is a deterministic approach rather, and that is important because at no point you want to rely on what kind of attacks have been seen in past. Because as I mentioned earlier, also, right, if you keep on doing that, there is highly likely that you will not be able to go on and detect an attack which is essentially exploiting a zero-day vulnerability or an attempt to use a technique, tactics, or procedures which is completely unknown. And that's why the idea is to map the acceptable execution of the application and instantly identify any deviations corresponding to that. So bringing in very deterministic approach to security, which means no signatures, no threat intelligence feeds, no learning whatsoever. And bring that across the application stack. And this is super, super important because in the enterprise data center, in the workload space, there is so much of dynamicity today, right? You have VMs, you have containers, you have web applications, web services, APIs running on premise, on cloud. But it should not matter, right? For a customer, any kind of application, any kind of workload that they might be running, it could be their email infrastructure, web applications, public facing portals, enterprise IT applications. Versec is able to go on and protect all of those at the host level, at the web layer, and also at some of the very advanced level of attacks that brings in that can go and exploit those uh, uh, exploit vulnerabilities on those applications. Versec is able to go on and provide an entire coverage. And one of our customers, a very large semiconductor player, uh, a global customer, has seen that benefit. And initially, in the first level of our engagement, they were just looking at around few hundreds of servers, securing their front-facing, internet-facing web applications. These were portals, and they had challenges. They had too many disparate security solutions, limited IT resources. They were investing a lot on the OpEx side of it. But with Versec coming in picture, we provided them complete application stack security, stop, of course, the wide range of attacks, zero-day threats. We gave them visibility against those zero-day threats that might be coming in, and also help them bring down the cost because of the way automation that we are bringing with our solution. They were actually in the first phase itself, they were actually able to bring down the cost, the operational expenditure of the solution implementation. And of course, now we are looking at the next level of engagements. We are working on thousands of their servers also. So a great ROI that the customer himself agrees on and is very vocal also about it.
Wonderful explanations. Now I would really want to bring Shashi into the discussions. A rock solid solution like this sounds pretty expensive. So how will a CISO justify this, financially and strategically?
First of all, this is, as you said, this is a rock solid protection or security which we are providing. So instead of multi-layer security which they are adopting, so there is a single solution which is going to address antivirus, web application attacks, and application protection in complete scenario. which can be provided. And it will be our thought process from Yotta's perspective is that it should be affordable. So affordability perspective, we always continuously put our efforts, and that's which is reflects with the price points, which is very attractive. I think 1,200 rupees per month on a OPEX model, on-demand model, it will be available. So as you said, it just reiterates rock solid solution with a rock solid and more adaptable price, affordable price.
Absolutely, absolutely. I totally agree with you. Very good points made, Shashi. Now, my next question to you, Shashi, is you have collaborated with Virsec. Would you like to shed some light on this, on the whys and really the nuts and bolts of how the two of you came together for this solution?
Great, good question. So, Mukbil, first of all, our both ideology of the companies are matching each other. First thing is Yotta always focus on best quality of services with affordable price and democratizing the technology in India's market, as well as in future will slowly global presence perspective will spread this to global scenarios also. So when democratization is we are talking about, so we have to have best technology at an affordable price in India market. And best technology comes from Virsec, and Yotta is trying to democratize in a service provider model. And Yotta also, to know that, just to emphasize, Yotta is a data center provider, Yotta is a MSP, managed service provider, IT perspective, as well as managed security service provider. All three combination given in a best simplified on-demand model, consumption-based model, and democratization IT is our the key mantras. And that's which is will put continuous effort going forward and give best services and IT services to the Indian enterprise and global enterprises. And in this respect, we both of us come to a joint exclusive arrangement where we are propagating and making sure that this adoption of technology happens faster and people feel safe, secure, and do more business and do more prosperity.
Absolutely, very noble thoughts. And with those noble thoughts, I would really want to come back to Rohan. I was really excited about the solution that he was talking about. And really ask him if we can have a demo for our audience on runtime protection.
Sure, why not? So this is the Virsec security platform dashboard, right? And of course, you have the high-level information that you would typically like to see in a security operations center, and something that you can span across different time frame. The idea is to kind of get visibility across the application stack as at the web application level as well as the host level, and of course the memory, right? Now, there are multiple applications or workloads that are already I have configured in this environment. And then the important thing to kind of also see here is we can go on and drill down into the individual incident, the kind of incident that you would expect. And in this demo, I'm going to cover a very decent scenario. But firstly, right now we'll start with the kind of detect only mode scenario where we'll see how Versa would be able to go on and detect an attack. So in this case, I have a target server, which is a Microsoft server running a print spooler service. And the target in this case is going to be the Microsoft, the print nightmare vulnerability that was a set of vulnerabilities in the Microsoft print spooler service, which allowed a remote code execution to happen. And in this case, you don't really expect a printer kind of service to be exposed to its internet, right? But attackers will always follow the complete kill chain and move laterally. So in this case, attacker is going to leverage and exploit and target a web application that is running on that particular server or any other server laterally for the moment also, and exploit a vulnerability called as command injection. Now, in this, the next thing that we are going to do is the idea is to ensure that we are able to do command injection on to the application and download some files on the system itself completely remotely. So the moment I'm going to submit this one, what you will see is that the first step of the attack is successful. And on the right hand side, on the bottom side, you will see a new file, a DLL file got dropped on the server. This is the first step of the attack, and you will immediately go on and see that there are incidents about command injection happening, library monitoring events happening. So whatever incidents that were going through, whatever actions that the attacker was following, the malicious actions, all of them are being captured, and right now in monitor mode. Hence, you're not taking in protection. Now, once the attacker has done that, we can go and get a full shell to the server, and it's quite simple. You just go to Kyle Linux, run this specific exploit that is already available in the public domain, and the moment you run that exploit, you see from my attack machine, I am able to go and get full access to the server, full console access to the server itself, to a Windows server. And again, something that we were able to go on and capture in the monitor mode itself, the full details, including the IP address of the server, the target, the attacker's IP address, process details, etc. Now, what is important, something that we have been saying all the time, is that protection is the key, and that's why I want to show you how we'll be able to go and protect. So to do that, all we have to do is just move this particular asset, and in a protection environment, you'll have all your assets in a protect mode. To move that particular asset in a protect mode, and then we rerun this attack again. But this time, when we'll run this attack, you'll see that in a moment, the attack will not go through. So as you can see now, the attack is not going through. The sprint service continues to run, and attack has been stopped. And if we go back to the Virsec console itself and again look at the incidents that we have, it clearly goes on to say that we were able to suspend the particular attack. We are able to suspend any kind of activity, a malicious activity that the attacker could have done at the first step itself, because you are redoing the attack. So it's very key that in an automated manner, the solution like Virsec is to go on and not only detect the attacks, but also stop them at the first step and not let them do anything malicious in the environment, instead of waiting for some sort of manual intervention. And all this is happening completely in an automated manner.
Wonderful, lovely demo from you, Rohan, and this really shows, the kind of solution that you guys have come up with, and which I'm very sure that the audience here would appreciate that. Now, coming back to Shashi, I would just, just wrapping up your last thoughts on this, your perspective on this entire thing.
Right. Thank you, Mugbir. So best part is that while demo, you can see that known attacks as well as unknown attacks, both are taken care of, and which is the best part of protecting an application-aware perspective. This is the best security available for application or operating system or antivirus, which we are talking about, the traditional versus traditional security. This is the best solution available for India enterprise as well as global enterprise.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more with you. Now, friends, it has been a wonderfully insightful talk. However, we are just reaching the end of time that has been stipulated for this session. So in the interest of time, we will really need to wrap this up. And we hope the discussion was able to ignite thoughts and curiosity in the minds of the audience. I would request all of you to get in touch with the representatives here should you have questions, queries, comments to make. Alternatively, you could also get in touch with us. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all for joining us today. And I would particularly like to take this opportunity to thank our partners, Virsec and Yotta Infrastructure, without whose support this insightful discussion would not have been possible. Have a great day ahead, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rohan. Thank you, Shashi.